Every single one of us have those things that we would call a waste of time.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast.
Minisode.
How many of you feel out of control? I think we all do to a certain extent. I'm going to tell you about one thing that you have complete control over, and you're not going to think you do. You're going to argue with me, but stay tuned to this minisode, sponsored by Synapse. Synapse is where I go to help support my adjustments. You should be as well, folks. This is a great place to find out technology that's going to help you to do more. Check it out by going to spark4appraisers.com. Again, it's spark4appraisers.com. Welcome to another minisode, everybody. I think that we spend a lot of time kind of feeling out of control in our lives. At least I do. I know that many of us do. My question for you is, what is the one thing that you have control over? No, it's not money. No, it's not your spouse. Any of you who are married know that it's not your spouse. It's not your kids. It's not your employees. It's not your employer. It's not your clients. I could go on about the things that it is not. Let me just cut to the chase and tell you what it is. Folks, there's one thing that you do have control over. And again, I know you're going to argue with me, but stay tuned. Let me explain what I mean. The thing that you have control over completely is your time. Now, we've talked here on this program before about money, about resources, about many things. And I have told you multiple times that there is one thing out there that we all get equal portion of. And it doesn't matter if you're Elon Musk or Dustin Harris. Definitely different ends of the pendulum there. But the one thing that we all share, of course, is our time. We all have 24 hours in a day. We all have the same amount of resource when it comes to time to deal with. And my question for you is, what are you doing with that resource? Are you wasting time? And what do I mean by that? Are there activities that you are involved in? Now, stay with me, folks. I'm not a hypocrite here. I'm going to lay myself on the altar of sacrifice here, okay? Because you are not alone, and I am right there with you regarding our resource of time and the wasting thereof. I've told the story here before. I'll tell you briefly. I once was associated with an individual who was being mentored by a very high net worth individual. And he was going through a course, and one of the assignments of the course was to come up with more than 24 hours in a day. Yeah, I know. Sounds silly, right? Well, I think that was kind of the purpose. It was supposed to sound silly, but it was supposed to get the gears working. The assignment, the homework assignment for my friend, was to come up with a way to make more time. And of course, you can't do that. But the result was interesting because he went through a process, because the mentor appeared to be completely serious, right? When people argued about the homework assignment, he said, no, I want you to come up with a way to make more time. It's never been done before. You're going to do it. And let them sit on that for a night or a weekend or whatever the case may be. And just to make a long story short, again, this is a mini-sode, not a full episode. I'll just cut to the chase. And my friend, right, wrong, or indifferent, came up with the idea of delegation, right? That you can always make more time by delegating. Well, that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about the time that is allocated specifically to you, the 24 hours in a day, the 365 that you have in a year, the 60 seconds in a minute, the 60 minutes in an hour. And the question on the table being, very simply, are you allocating those resources appropriately? Speaking of resources, I want to talk to you about a great resource that I use on a regular basis, technology, folks. Technology in the form of Synapse. Now, Kyle, my good friend Brandon over at True Footage have developed an amazing amazing technology. And when I say amazing, folks, I'm telling you, it will blow your socks off. I don't think I'm overselling it. When you actually dig in and see what this program can do to help you support your adjustments, yeah, kind of important, you're going to be blown away. Check them out by going to the website spark4appraisers.com. Scroll down a little bit and click on the Synapse button. Watch a few of these videos, folks. It will blow you away. You will want this as part of your arsenal. Again, it's Synapse, and you can find it at spark4appraisers.com. All right, folks, welcome back to the program. Your host, Dustin Harris, hanging out on the Appraiser Coach podcast, sitting on the podcast chair, and good to be with you. I've been thinking a little bit lately about the things that we have control over in life and the things that we don't. I will say this right up front, no surprise, we don't have a lot of control over a lot of things. But one thing that we own, that we have complete control over, yes, I mean that. Now, again, I know you're going to argue with me. You're going to say, well, Dustin, you're not married to the person I'm married to. She completely controls my schedule. Okay, folks, I get how influences externally can affect the way that we live our lives. And I would not in any way encourage you to be well, I'm just going to say it, an asshole, right? And say that my time is mine and I'm going to spend it how I want, right? There's such thing as diplomacy. There's such thing as just being kind, right? There's such thing as just being a human being and making some concessions. That's not what we're talking about today. I'm talking about the control that you have in the time that you allocate here on this beautiful blue planet. I'm talking about the day-to-day. Now, I will be the first one to admit that I am not one that believes that you have to be the most efficient, most effective person all the time in your life. You're going to burn yourself out. Okay. As of this recording on a Monday afternoon, in a few minutes, I'm going to shut down my computer and I'm going to drive to lunch with a friend, and then we are going to a movie. Yep, that's it. Some of you would say that's a waste of time. Some of you would say that I'm not practicing what I preach. I get on this microphone and talk about, the precious resource of time, and then I run off to a movie. Well, I'm also a big advocate of rest and relaxation, of renewing and recharging your batteries, and that I feel like I'm going to be a better person tomorrow, Tuesday, when I come back to work, because I've spent some effective time and some quality time with a friend and relaxing a little bit in the movie house. Now, it's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about waste of time. I'm talking about the way that we sometimes underutilize the resources that we have. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to bring up specific examples because you already know. When I ask you this question, how are you on a daily basis wasting time? And then I pause for effect. Every single one of you know what you had something come to mind. I know you did. Now, you quickly discounted it and you quickly moved on and you quickly justified why it was okay in your life. But every single one of us have those things that we would call a waste of time. My challenge to you, my friends, today is to take advantage, take an opportunity to utilize that little prick in your side, right? That little nudge that you felt when I said, where are you wasting time? And your homework assignment is to change that today, change that this week, make a difference in the way that you utilize your time. I promise you, folks, it will improve your life. Now I'm off to a movie. Thank you so much for joining me, friends. I really, really do appreciate it. We are growing on YouTube, leaps and bounds. If you are on YouTube, thank you. Please just do me a quick favor. Just reach over, click the like button. If you've not subscribed yet, please do that. That really, really helps us. If you have not yet found us on YouTube, run over there on your phone, on your laptop. Just do it right now. Just jump over there, find the Appraiser Coach, subscribe. You won't miss an episode. Thank you, friends. We will catch you next time. Go create some value.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.